Welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. So do me a favor. There's a lot going on, and there's going to be so much chaos going on. But here, raw and unfiltered, you're going to get the facts. So do me a favor. Subscribe, watch, comment, and share with your friends, because we need to keep this group strong. Why? Well, because yesterday, Trump was at the Doral resort for the GOP retreat. And I want to break it down. I want to break down what he said, because it's important. But before we get into it, he also, of course, told reporters that he's so busy right now, he's going to be too busy to play golf. But surprise, surprise, where was he? Seen on the golf course. Sure. All right. Now, yeah, and actually doing very well from what I heard. I know a few people that were there. They said he actually played a great round. Congratulations. Now, I want you to look at some clips from his speech, because over the last few days, Trump keeps talking about other countries emptying their prisons into our country. They're sending us their worst. They're sending us their mental patients, their criminals. They're insane, right? Now, here's the funny thing, because if I remember, and I know I do, just last week, via the pardon power, Trump emptied our prisons of violent J6 offenders, well, back into our country, back onto the streets. Play that clip.
I think, frankly, half of them are totally crazy, but they do stick together. They stick together on stuff that nobody can. I mean, how can you want prisons emptied out into our country? They stick together.
Yeah. Again, I'm blown away. Because then Trump, of course, joked about running for a third term. And if you think that's a joke, it's obviously not. He's setting up the layup. It's that simple. In fact, I believe there's a GOP member of Congress that already drafted a bill that allows him to do that. Play the clip.
That I've raised a lot of money for the next race that I assume I can't use for myself, but I'm not 100% sure, because I don't know. I think I'm not allowed to run again. I'm not sure. Am I allowed to run again, Mike? I better not get you involved in that argument. No, we raised a...
Yeah. Again, he's not joking. You've heard me say that over and over and over again, that this would be the last election. He truly enjoys the comment that it doesn't matter who you vote for. All that matters is who's counting the vote, and that he's going to destroy the Constitution. He's going to change it, and that he will remain in power as long as he's on this earth. He's not joking when he says this. And it's very simple. You don't have to ask Mike. You don't have to ask anyone. Read the Constitution. It's easy. Then, after Sunday's tension with Colombia, Trump made jokes about the plane that were full of migrants. Play that clip.
How would you like to be the pilot of a plane? You got two pilots up there, and you got 300 people sitting in a plane. Every one of them either a murderer, a drug lord, a kingpin of some kind, the head of the mob, or a gang member. And you're flying that plane. It's not going to end well. Do you ever see the movie Con Air? That's what, yeah, except here's the difference. The people in Con Air were actors. They weren't nearly as tough as these guys. I would say that plane would be gone before it ever left. Those pilots would be gone before it ever left. So they don't want us to shackle them. I don't want to.
Somewhere along the line, that plane did go up, and the plane did come down. And it's a terrible thing that he's doing. He's trying to convince you that every one of the migrants that they are deporting, which is his right to do as president. I don't dispute the fact that he has the right to create rules and regulations, legislation on this mass deportation policy. Absolutely, he has that right. But do you also have to turn around and denigrate them and castigate them and ensure that everybody thinks that every single migrant is a drug lord, a murderer, a dealer, a gang member? The answer to that is no. In fact, they found that very few of them actually are. These are people that were leaving their country, which is torn apart, to try to find a better life. Terrible. He then suggested that we actually send American prisoners to other countries. So lay up for something also. Play that clip.
They even break into apartments and rape elderly women and beat up elderly men, beat them to hell. And I don't want these violent repeat offenders in our country any more than I want illegal aliens from other countries who misbehave. And I say, and this is subject to getting it approved, but if they've been arrested many, many times, they're repeat offenders by many numbers, I want them out of our country. I also will be seeking permission to do so. We're going to get approval, hopefully, to get them the hell out of our country along with others. Let them be brought to a foreign land and maintained by others for a very small fee, as opposed to be maintained in our jails for massive amounts of money, including the private prison companies that charge us a fortune. Let them be brought out of our country and let them live there for a while. Let's see how they like it. You'll see crime all over the country.
Do you understand what it is that he's saying here? He wants to seek power to remove Americans. I don't care whether they're felons or not, whether they're prisoners or not. They are American citizens born in this country, having only one passport. He wants to have them removed from this country, stripped of their citizenship, and sent to another country, either to exist in their jails under that foreign law. Do you have any idea what we're talking about? What kind of insane power that would be? And who would make that ultimate determination? Oh, yeah, he would. So what would happen to his critics? What would happen to the Hunter Bidens of the world? Or maybe a Michael Cohen of the world? Or maybe a Cassidy Hutchinson? Or what about the January 6th police officers, the Capitol police officers? Or any members of Congress, for that matter, that he declares to be an enemy of the state? It doesn't stop there, because that's the thing with power. It doesn't stay small. It expands and it grows. Now, I want to talk about a little bit of a different topic yesterday, something called DeepSeek, which has been all over the news yesterday. And Trump addressed the new AI company, which is out of China. Play the clip.
Today and over the last couple of days, I've been reading about China and some of the companies in China, one in particular, coming up with a faster method of AI and much less expensive method. And that's good, because you don't have to spend this much money. I view that as a positive, as an asset. So I really think if it's fact and if it's true, and nobody really knows if it is, but I view that as a positive, because you'll be doing that too. So you won't be spending as much and you'll get the same result, hopefully. The release of DeepSeek AI from a Chinese company should be a wake-up call for our industries, that we need to be laser focused on competing to win, because we have the greatest scientists in the world. Even Chinese leadership told me that. They said, you have the most brilliant scientists in the world in Seattle and various places. But Silicon Valley, they said, there's nobody like those people. This is very...
Yeah. First, I'm not so sure you call them scientists as you call them techies. But putting all that aside, let me tell you what the real problem is here. One of the reasons that AI is so dangerous is because AI is going to be used in order to protect our defenses and our systems, like our power grids. So the company that has the most powerful AI will be battling the next country that has powerful AI. And of course, the one that's more powerful will be able to take control, and it will constantly continue to advance itself. And it's going to only need a nanosecond in order to be ahead of the other, so that every time that the AI from that country tries to shut down our power grid or wreak havoc in our country, our AI will counter it and then seek to do the same back to them. This is a war of technology. So no, it's not good. But yes, we do have the best techies in the world, and they do need to be laser focused, because we do need to win this AI war. That is 100%. Now, he also seemed very, very upset at its success, and then whined about how we are always first. I'm not so sure in this case that we are, but let's play the clip.
This This is very unusual when you hear a deep seek, when you hear somebody come up with something. We always have the ideas. We're always first. So I would say that's a positive. That could be very much a positive development. So instead of spending billions and billions, you'll spend less and you'll come up with, hopefully, the same solution under the Trump administration.
Again, don't agree. But he then goes on to speak about the United States being a merit-based country again. Now, let me just stop you right there, as Tucker Carlson's son, Buckley, is now set to serve as Vice President Vance's deputy press secretary. Merit-based? You tell me. Play the clip.
Abolish 60 years of prejudice and hatred with the signing of one order, all approved by the Supreme Court of the United States. It was a big thing, and the United States has become a meritocracy again. We are a country that's based now on merit for success. Merit. If you're good at what you do, you're going to go places. I made it.
Yeah. And I'm certain that a kid who's probably directly out of college to become the deputy press secretary for the Vice President of the United States had nothing to do that it's fucker Carlson's son, right? Come on. Now, lastly, I want to show you a clip of Trump comparing himself to Elvis Presley and the Beatles. Play that clip.
We've gotten a lot of people elected with those teletown halls. We have 25, 30,000 people on just in a congressional area, and they win easy. It works for Elvis, the Beatles, and it doesn't work for anyone else, but it works for Trump. And we would have tremendous crowds on those calls, and I think I'll bet we got 35, 40 people elected because of the teletown halls. But I did say...
Well, sure. I understand the point that he's trying to make here. And let's not mince words here. Donald Trump is incredibly popular. MAGA is growing. It's dangerous, my opinion, but they are growing. And his message resonates with somewhere around 50% of the country. Now, 50% of the country it doesn't resonate with, but that 50% of the country, you're talking about 150 million people. It's a hell of a group. So when he says that he's like Elvis and the Beatles, he's talking about how popular that he is. And I got to be honest with you. We have a very serious situation on our hands. And it's one that's going to require people to be informed. No more misinformation, disinformation, malinformation. Come right here. Subscribe, watch, share, comment. Because there's so much that's going to be going on over the course of the next 4 years. This is the place to come for truth. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.